Welcome back to the channel. I have my droid part picked out. It is going to be a leg. I've been 3D printing that leg and two prints, or one failed print later, I have a full leg, at least the lower section of the leg. I need to remove this top part right now, so I'm going to do that first before we get to the next stage. So we need that. And we'll turn that off. We'll turn this off. We'll put it aside. And I'm now ready with the next section, which, like I said, is a leg. So here's my droid leg. This thing is going to sit on top of my trash crab like this. I just need to connect those two parts together. So we can go ahead and start the process of building or fabricating the finished leg. So it's going to require a lot more prep work on this, sanding and priming, probably cutting out a few pieces, attaching these two parts together, and ultimately attaching it to the top of the old spider bot, and this way they'll connect together properly. So I'm going to start that now. The droid leg is a little smaller than the crab, so I'm starting with a Dremel and a cutoff wheel to separate the panels. I weighed this print and it is 13.5 ounces. It is dangerously close to the weight limit of 1 pound. 16 ounces is 1 pound, so I'm only got about 2.5 ounces left of room here. The plan is to make the top part of the leg as ripped up as possible. First, to create more coverage of the crab body, and also to lighten it a bit. I still want to add wires and maybe other components, so I should shed as much weight as possible. I'm using the heat gun here to soften the plastic and allow me to bend parts of the leg. I fit the leg from time to time, and you can start to see how this will look in the end. I use the sander as well as sandpaper to smooth out some of the big areas of this print. I'm not really overly worried about smoothness. I just don't want it to look like it's been 3D printed. Use epoxy to connect the leg to the head, or to the crab. By just putting some spots in there that I can then run screws through and attach. But let's first, before we do that, let's put some tape on this. The tape keeps the epoxy putty from sticking to the top of the crab. Once the epoxy is set, I then pop off the top of the crab. Before I do anything else, I want to drill a hole through the top of the crab and the epoxy putty. I also tap this hole so that a screw will hold the top to the epoxy and ultimately to the leg. With those holes drilled, now I can remove the top. Additionally, I will do the same thing through the leg. Even though the epoxy is fused to the leg, I want the added assurance that they will not separate. By adding a screw through the leg and into the epoxy, I guarantee that it's going to stay together. To attach the foot to the leg, I'm going to use one of those heatsink nuts that you can melt into the plastic. First, drill a hole through the leg and into the foot. Then, with a soldering iron, press the metal nut into the foot. You have to be careful to fully push it in until it is flush with the surface of the plastic. I then reattach the leg and repeat with the next hole. The most weight it's held, I think. So now I can finish it and I might need to lighten this up a little bit just because it seems to be pushing down on the crab a little bit. But I'm pretty happy with how that works. Okay, so I added black to the foot. They're still a little wet, so we're gonna, a little sticky. Come here, you. I'm gonna put this here. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to attach the both legs here in this process. Those paints are gonna stick, but that's all right. I want to paint everything else now with those attached. I don't know if I'll ever take the foot off the leg, but I want the ability to do so if I need to. So that's why I'm using screws. And I'll make sure I can get to the screws, but I will it'll probably be stuck together forever. All right, so now with that, I've also, remember this thing? This was from the Septoid. This was from the Septoid Droid. It was the neck, or what I thought would become the neck, but it was too thin. So now it's a painting stand. And we're gonna stick our foot on here so that we can paint this like that. I think I'm gonna keep going with a couple spray paint colors. I'm gonna do maybe a little bit of a rust red color, maybe a little silver. Well, we'll see. This is a reddish brown primer, and I'm adding it to give it a bit of a reddish brown or rust colored base. Add black into the deepest areas and as a shadow color or underpainting. The plan is to make this leg look old and really rusty. So now I'm going to do a series of reds. So I have this one. This is a dull red. Then I have another Tamiya. This one is whole red. This one, some brown. I might mix some black with that. I also have some primers here, but it's this red color here. It's a German red brown. And then I also have some gunmetal. So let's first start off with just some more of the rust color in this. I'm going to use this very dull red. Let's see what that looks like. This red color, again, will be considered an underpaint. I will make it look like the leg was painted a color, but the rust and age is showing through that paint. For this, I like to use brushes. I really want the texture and spotted nature of applying color like this. I'm going to go in with some brown now, and this is actually whole red. So it's a brown, no, it's a brownish color, I should say. And we can see those two colors right next to each other. And going to be a little bit more textured with this one. You can kind of see what's happening with the bottom of the foot. Do a little bit on top of the foot here. We're going to dry brush some gunmetal onto it, just here and there. Just this is gunmetal gray. Next up is some chipping. So I'm gonna use latex as my chipping medium. Apply the latex however you want the paint to peel off. The latex dries clear, so you do need to remember where you placed it. I like using a brush to apply latex as it leaves gaps and spots free of latex. A couple things are still milky. So that's the latex, not completely dry yet. But I think it's dry enough for me to paint on top of. So I'm going to paint on top of it. I think it'll be all right. I'm going to do this blue color for the leg, for the original Droid color. And you can airbrush it. You can just paint it on. I'm going to paint it on. I don't want to get it in all the in-between spots, so I'm going to just paint this on. And I think it's going to go on okay. And I'm just going to do this everywhere. Okay, so we have it completely painted blue. And it's a little messy in spots, but you know, it's fine. As long as most everything's covered up and it's not, and none of the colors showing through. And we will go through and start to remove the masking, and that will expose the rusted stuff underneath. So hopefully it looks cool when we're done. You never know until you do it. Everything is dry now, so I'm going to take a chip brush. I cut the chip brush down to toothbrush level, so it's nice and firm, and I can start to pick away at the latex. I can also use my finger, I suppose. I think I can use my finger. It's here somewhere. Said latex. Here it is. Grab tweezers just to start it. Oh yeah, there we go. This will be terribly satisfying. Oh yeah, that's nice. So I try to go thick with the latex just so that it's a little easier to grab and peel off in big chunks if I can. And you can see like little chunks of blue paint left behind. It's really nice. Once I peeled the latex away, I'm able to start with the first wash of color. I'm using an enamel with mineral spirits. I want the leg to look dirty and a bit oily. Started with a black wash and moved on to a brown color. Now I'm using rust red as a wash. You can use a hair dryer to speed up the drying time of the washes if you need to. You want the streaks of color to stay. So I've reattached the lid here to the spider bot into the leg. So that's now supporting the leg, just 2 screws. And now I need to figure out, some little bits of wire or something. That was latex. Some little bits of wire or something to stick out and kind of, help hide any of this lid or any of this top that might be showing through. It's not a lot. I might use steel wool and some wires is what I'm contemplating at the moment. So I have some steel wool to stick in there. I also have a variety of wires that I've extracted from all kinds of things. Things that either have broken or laptops or are, were recycled, and I pulled out these little wire harnesses to use for other things, and kind of to use for things like this. So, you know, I'm going to have some of this wire stick out. I'm probably just going to glue it on the inside of the leg with some E6000. And I'm probably not going to use the steel wool. I did try to stuff some in there. It kind of looked a little cheesy. So I might push a little bit in there just for in between the wires and in between things that are, you know, maybe there's a little blank spot or something. So I'm not going to go crazy with the steel wool, but it's here just in case I want to use it. So let's do that. Time to, I think the glue's dry. Seems dry. Pull off all these clamps. And I'm going to put this top back in. And then what I'll do is I'm going to give it a haircut. So after a little bit of fiddling there, it is attached. Trimming and dressing the last of these wires. And now, to see it in action, the trash crab from Skeleton Crew. This was a fun project, taking a toy and repurposing it for something else. Hopefully you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed building it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.